Thank you, Ibu Caroline, for the very enlightening session. Thank you for somehow summarizing the whole 2 days experience so we can come home embedded with those values. Thank you so much. So let's go on to the next agenda. We still have the closing talk. This will also be the most exciting talk. For the past 2 years, I've been hearing the name of Richard Barrett as the methodologist for our research. And now to have him here for a closing dialogue, the value factor shaping the future of humanity, which will be presented by Dr. Richard Barrett, MD, V20 co-founder, founder of Barrett Academy for the Advancement of Human Values, United Kingdom, who is joining us virtually. Yes, please give an applause. And the facilitator for this session, Ibu Dima Al-Sheikh. Now let me introduce you to our facilitator for the closing talk dialogue. Dima Al-Sheikh is a V20 founder and chair of V20 2020, the director of community engagement, global affairs, and research at MISC Foundation. Created in 2011, the MISC Foundation was initiated by Mohammed bin Salman with focus on education, culture, and media. Ibu Dima holds a diploma focused in values and cultural transformational tools and frameworks. She applied research methodologies and evidence-based interventions, and she is the president of Al-Ghad Value Center. So let's start the closing talk dialogue on the value factor shaping the future of humanity. To Bapak Richard Barrett and Ibu Dima Al-Sheikh, the stage is yours.
Hello everyone. I'm very honored to be closing the third V20 summit here in Bali Green School, Indonesia. I'm very honored to be surrounded by those great minds and souls from around the world gathered together for a common cause. For a common cause that is so crucial and so important to the rest of the world. I'm very touched by what we have witnessed in the past 2 days, not because of this event only, but watching the different mechanisms and different energies merge together into different opportunities, different perspectives, and witnessing this while hearing the sound of rain under the bamboo, with this amazing weather, with those amazing smiles, and with this great food, elevate this experience into a dimension where impact is guaranteed. I'm sure that maybe sooner in 2042, Indonesia will host G20 or maybe G40 by that time again. And the leaders of all civil society activities, the leaders of V20 then would be maybe the graduates from those schools, the support, the ushers that we see, the young ushers that we see around us. And we do believe in you that you're gonna carry the future very well. I'm honored also to be speaking to my personal, and not only my personal, I think Richard is a global inspirational leader. He's a guru in the field of values. So modeling values, codifying values, measuring values has been his job in the past 50 years or more. I'm very honored because Richard himself is a source of inspiration for myself. He's my coach and my reference in the time where I need guidance and I need wisdom in creating an intervention in my nation or even globally. His wisdom have inspired this movement since 2015 maybe, and we're very honored to see him with us today. We hope that it was physically, but we're honored to see you in very big screen all by yourself, Richard, here with us today. So I would like to start this conversation with you, asking you, you have been in this field for quite long, and creating the right narrative and awareness has been a challenge because there is different level of worldviews and consciousness among leaders, among organizations and nations. Why is it now that values and asking why and clearing intention and having better dialogue have becoming more trendy maybe, or have more acceptance? What is it happening in the world, witnessing what you have witnessed and incorporating your experience that led to this more active society involvement and more innovation in the field of exploring self and exploring the why?
Well, I think it all has to do with the fact that beliefs no longer help us to create the future we want. 50 years ago, beliefs were very important in that what had been happening in the past 50 years had led to a belief, and that belief could predict the future. But for the last 50 years and more, we've been living in very turbulent times, and beliefs just don't do it anymore. We need another mode of decision making which is closer to our hearts and closer to what is important, and that is values, values-based decision making. I've been an advocate for values-based decision making for over 25 years now, and when you talk about values and think about values, you're really connecting with your soul. You're connecting with the deepest level of who you are. Now, some people who are not as well off as other people, their values may have more to do with survival. And we are seeing that more and more. There are a lot of survival values being shown in the world at the moment. And survival values, you can tackle them in two ways. One way you say, well, what do I need? What do I value that I need in order to survive? But we've got to the point where it's impossible to survive unless everybody survives. The issues in the world are so great that we can't isolate ourselves. And so it's like, what do I value to survive, and how can I cooperate with others so that we can all survive? And beliefs will not do it. Values is the next step, and it's grown in importance significantly over the past 20 years.
Thank you, Richard. So you're saying that beliefs might put us apart while values unite the dialogue together. Thank you, very insightful. So how about measuring those values? Because beliefs have this tendency of maybe sacred instructions, or what to do and what not to do, while values have that level of ambiguity around them, around the wording, around the language. So talk us through your approach, the 7 level of consciousness, and your way of articulating and codifying values to the extent that it's becoming more universal language.
Well, I'm going to try and do it very simply and very quickly, because I could talk for many hours on this topic. So what's happening is that as people grow and evolve, they move from what I call the 3rd level of consciousness to the 4th level. Now, the 4th level of consciousness, well, the first 3 levels are all about fitting in to your society, fitting into your organization. You behave in a manner that allows you to fit in and get your needs met. Now, so you're really making decisions based on your need to fit in or need to survive. there comes a point where we individuate, where we stop allowing the beliefs of the culture or the beliefs of the organization or the beliefs of the nation define who we are, and we start to define ourselves. And to do that, we have to get in touch with our own values. We have to live our own values. And living your values allows you to individuate and self-actualize. Maslow talked about self-actualization as being the pinnacle of a person's growth. And you can't self-actualize unless you can separate yourself from the mass in the sense of, well, ask yourself the question, who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? And then, once you've discovered that, to have the courage to stand up and be who you are and become a role model for values-based decision making. So it's really all about consciousness. And we asked the question a few moments ago, what would we wish the leaders who are coming to embrace? And I would ask them to embrace the common good, to embrace their own souls, to embrace the bigger picture, and to recognize that they can't solve the problems at the same level of consciousness that we created them by looking after our own self-interest. All of our nations focus on their own self-interest. We have to focus on the common good. And that's the only way forward. It's the only way to solve all of the problems that are in the world, because we are totally connected. We cannot live anymore in isolation, looking after our own needs. We have to look after the needs of humanity. Humanity is what is important. We need to identify with humanity. When you're a young person, you identify with yourself. When you get with a partner, you identify as a couple. When you have children, you identify as a family. Then you identify with your organization and then with your nation. But we need to move beyond that level of identification. We need to move to the level of I identify with humanity, which means the decisions I make are good for me, but they're also good for humanity.
Thank you, Richard. But now with what's happening in the world, with humanity being pushed into survival stage or survival level of consciousness, what is it that you do wish or you do suggest to global leaders in order to move away or have a higher order other than survival mode? What sort of initiatives are you suggesting? What sort of indicators are you seeing as tools to elevate that level of thinking among leaders specifically?
Well, if you look back over time, values have been evolving. I mean, 100 years ago, in most countries, women didn't even have the vote. We've seen a great evolution in values in the last century, and that will continue. I'm sure it will continue. And as those values increase, we become more aware that we are not alone and that we live in a family. We call it the human family. And beyond that, we live in a family which is everything that lives on the earth. So we need a shift in consciousness. We need a shift in consciousness. And we will only get that shift in consciousness if everybody individually begins to accept that. Now, 150, nearly 200 years ago, this is what happened in the Scandinavian nations. They began a program of cultural evolution, which was about focusing on helping young people to individuate and self-actualize. And this has led to the Scandinavian nations having the highest levels of well-being in the world. And it began with this idea that internal change will create societal change. And so this is why 2 or 3 years ago I started the Humanity Awareness Movement, which is a training program. Anybody can access these trainings at the humanityawarenessinitiative.org. And the idea is nation by nation to elevate the consciousness of the nation and start with young people, because they are the future. They are the future, and they will be in control. So we want young people to have an easy pathway to individuation and self-actualization, and that's what the Humanity Awareness Movement is about.
Amazing. I have witnessed firsthand how the Humanity Awareness Initiative have touched me personally, and it have introduced me to Mikey and Yuri and Roseanne, and I'm very proud of being involved in it in a way that is I'm becoming more aware of it, so aware of the need for it. So thank you for creating this, Richard. We are here in a room full of like-minded, like values, like intention people. And we know that this movement is gonna grow because of this grassroots involvement of practitioners who were busy doing things, actually making things and being things around their society, around their communities. And what we need to do is make the rest of the world who are busy doing other things aware of those practices, and creating this common good that you have talked to us about is something that is doable and gonna create mutual benefit. I'm amazed by the exercise that we have been in and asking us about what value you would like to see more of among G20 leaders, and moving with the theme that we started with V20, values of values, then values in action, values in the center. We're aspiring for India's presidencies where lead by values is going to be the theme. So instilling this level of awareness, the humanity level awareness or consciousness among leaders is necessarily to elevate and create the paradigm shift among problem-solving efforts in the upcoming incidents, upcoming pandemics, and upcoming challenges that the world might provide us. I think the effort that has been done this year with the Values Steering Committee suggesting 4 values for G20, which is sustainability, multilateralism, resilience, and inclusion. I thought of adding one extra value to it, inspired by what we have heard today, which is courage. Courage to create change, and courage to lead change. And I think this will not be done if without the collaboration from the doers themselves, writing up what works and represent it as a policy to be heard among decision makers. What's so beautiful about G20 and G20 engagement groups is this instilling of co-ownership, stewardship, and continuous progress. It's not one headquarter in a European nation. It's moves from one nation to other nation with different elements and different cultural impact elements in every input from every nation and from every college professor, from every school principal that would incorporate much larger wisdom from much experienced crowd. So we're very honored to be here, and we're honoring the courage that we have witnessed among our Italian organizers, then the courage within the Indonesian organizers, and the courage now with the Indian organizers that are willing to take this very huge weight and making it better and better every day. And this cannot be done without the active participation of every delegate, and every social media influencer, every blogger, and every participator in creating this beautiful graphics, to creating the nice sounds, and to just be and attend and inspire others around you with all of this. So I really appreciate this moment, and I appreciate your wisdom, Richard, in inspiring us all towards this direction. And I really thank you for being with us in this closing remark, and invite you to give a 5 minutes closing speech regarding your aspiration for V20 in the future.
Dima, you are absolutely right to bring up the value of courage, because when you have the value of courage, you recognize that there is fear. And what the world needs now is to move out of fear and into love. This is the future. The future is love. The future is not fear, because if you are in fear, you are part of the problem. If you are in love, you're part of the solution. That really is, simply put, is the issue. Are you living in fear, or are you living in love? And this is what I speak about to leaders of organizations, etc. Eliminate fear, embrace love. Now, love means connection. Love means many, many different things. Love means acceptance. Love means trust. So it's in the essence of love that we need to build the future that will allow everyone, young children, teenagers, adults, to live a life which is full of well-being. Because ultimately, what it's all about is well-being. And we feel well-being when we feel loved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please give another big round of applause
Thank you.
to Ibu,
Thank you, Richard.
Dr. Richard Barrett. Thank you so much for a very moving session.
Thank you.
Please, can we take one picture together? Dr. Richard, please. All right. Please, please, please. All the founding members to take one picture all together. Thank you so much for making this happen. Thank you.
Micah Yuri, please. Please. Please, Yuri, Micah, and anyone else you want to invite, but especially you two. This would not be possible without these two incredible legends. Please, in the middle. No, stand in the middle. Stand in the middle. In the middle, in the middle. A huge round of applause, please.
Thank you.
They took this on their small shoulders, these slight shoulders.
Woohoo!
No, wait. So, this is no small task. We've seen this journey over just 3 brief years. You see, the G20 is huge. It's the 20 most powerful nations in the planet. And these two people took on their volunteer efforts and then built up a team and enrolled all of us to make this happen, to base it at the Green School, to make sure everyone flew into Indonesia. You have people from Hong Kong, from Britain, from Saudi, from Italy, from all over the world. And for them to enroll everyone week after week after week to make this happen, you know, values takes heart and soul. And both of them have shown so much heart and soul that day after day, it hasn't just been a year, it's been a long, long journey. But what they've transformed in a year, when they started with us, there was a little bit of trepidation. What do we have to do within a year? How is this possible? And and he says still, because maybe that, to your point about courage, Dima, you have to step over it again and again. And even this afternoon, when speaking with Yuri, he still had a little bit of, is it all going to go okay? It's going just fine. Incredibly well. Absolutely amazing. And we really just can't thank you enough for taking this on. You've acted with such humility. You never accept the grace, you never accept the thanks, but we'd really like you to feel it, because when you feel this love that Richard was just talking about, anything is possible. And I'm sure we all wish that the G20 have all of that love in their hearts, so that by this time next year, we're one big happy family. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. We have prepared some words, Dima. Can we take our contekan, Yuri? Yeah? Okay.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Kinan.
You're welcome, yeah.
They're going to go and take their cards.
So now, thank you so much. Now the journey of V20 22 in Indonesia is almost over. It's time to hand over the V20 legacy to the upcoming host, V20 2023 India. So first, please welcome to the stage V20 2022 co-chairs, again, Ibu Mika Malaon, Nanilai founder, Director of Daya Lima, and Bapak Yuri Yogaswara, Nanilai founder, CEO of Daya Dimensi Indonesia. And from the representative of V20 2023 India, Madam Gauri Ishawaran, Vice Chair, the Global Education and Leadership Foundation, TGELF, and Yashodhana Raj, Senior Manager, Entrepreneurship Initiative and Global Education and Leadership Foundation, TGELF, India. Please come to the stage. Mbak Mika, Mas Yori, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Kinan, and thank you so much, Mandip. Thank you. So distinguished speakers, facilitators, panelists, and participants of the V20 2022 Summit, dear supporters and friends of V20, Ibu Bapak semua, adik-adik, kakak-kakak yang saya cintai. With the summit ending in a few moments, Yuri and myself cannot help but to reminiscence about how we got the honor to organize for V20's 2022 programs. And please bear with us while we tell you the story of how it began. The two of us learned about Values 20 maybe around, was it May or April last year, when Dima Al-Sheikh of Saudi, the founder of V20, contacted Dr. Rozan Anwar of Daya Lima to introduce, talk about, and also explore possibilities for 2022. I believe Dima got Rozan's contact from Richard Barrett. Is that right, Dima and Rozan? I think that's what happened. And of course, Richard is the global thought leader on values from the United Kingdom. And no coincidence that just now we just saw the dialogue between Dima and Richard. So at that time, we knew nothing about G20, let alone V20. The only thing that we were aware of was that G20 is coming to Indonesia in 2022, and that was it. I was heavily involved in the preparation of the Nanilai Survey Report, our national values assessment, which was done in 2020, and the report was then completed in June last year. And Yuri was focusing 100% in his role as the CEO of Daya Dimensi Indonesia, our HR consulting business. So Rozan, Yuri, and myself got interested since we believe that V20 will strengthen our initiative on values, which we saw as our contribution to Indonesia. With our strategic intent in Daya Lima to generate leaders of a new planet, we wanted for more people here to be aware of the importance of values as you navigate your lives. The Nanilai initiative needed to be amplified, and V20 was just the perfect vehicle for that. We'll get international exposure and greater exposure everywhere, international influence with involvement in Values 20. And little did we know that we will also gain friendship, joy, and love from this wonderful, powerful movement. We still remember one of our very first virtual meetings with the V20 Founding Circle, which included Dr. Ghazi Bin Zagar, Pamela Doherty, Dr. Manuel Schubert, Dr. Shoibal Roy, Shiv Kemka, Dr. Chris Dembek, Dr. Mandip Rai, Rudolf Lohmeyer, and of course the co-chairs of Italy in 2021, Marisa Faccio and Stefano Petti, besides Dima and Richard at that time. We presented our high-level, very, very high-level plan for V20 2022 to them, and the rest is the year-long journey to this summit. And during the journey, we experienced firsthand the gotong royong principles from so many people, so many parties involved in it. We are indeed very grateful and blessed to have all of you together with us for V20 2022. Yuri?
Thank you, Mbak Meike. I think first of all, I would like to acknowledge our Dima Alsi, the V20 founder, who actually coined the term values at the center. So it's actually coming from Dima. Thank you so much, Dima, for the idea. So to continue, Meike, please allow us as the organizers to express our greatest gratitude to the following list. And please be aware, it is a very long list indeed. First, the V20 Founding Circle. You know who you are. Thank you for the trust, the time invested in our weekly meeting, late nights, some in the early mornings, to support and guide us from afar, for being involved directly, hands-on, in the summit and community development. And mostly thank you for the friendship. Second, all 2022 V20 delegates and task force leaders. Some are with us now, like Professor Bambang Shergi, D.Y. Suharya, Dr. Henry Simarmata, and all the panelists, facilitators, and speakers of the summit who all believe in the cause and have volunteered their precious time so that we succeeded in delivering both the 2022 communique and summit. Number three, please bear with us. The 2022 V20 Advisory Board, including Ibu Dr. Vivi Yulaswati of Bappenas, our National Planning Agency, and Head of National SDG Secretariat, Bapak Kartiko Wirjoatmojo, the Vice Minister II of State-Owned Enterprises, Bapak Arsyad Rashid, the Chairman of Indonesia's Chamber of Commerce and Industry, who suggested Green School actually as our summit's venue, Professor Bambang Brojonegoro, who believed in the initiative from the very beginning, Pak Aziz Arman, the CEO of Indica Energy Group, Pak Iwan Syahril, the Director General of Primary and Secondary Education of the Ministry of Education and Culture, Ibu Fatimah Kala from Kala Group, Pak Salman Subakat of Paragon Technologies and Innovation, or we call it Wardah, Pak Irfan Setiaputra of Garuda Indonesia, Ibu Alexandra Askandar of Forum Human Capital Indonesia and Deputy CEO of Bank Mandiri, Bapak Antonio Steve Kosasih, represented by Pak Hendra of Taspen, Pak Pak Ahmad Yuniarto of Pertamina Geothermal Energy, and of course, last but not least, Ibu Endah Afif and Dr. Rozan Anwar of Daya 5. And also Pak Anggoro Eko Cahyo, the Managing Director of BP Jam Sostek. Number 4, our organizing partners, Kinan Pierce from Stoic Trisula that provided such beautiful graphics. It's all Kinan's team. Concept and visuals for V20 2022, Pantare, and Bapenas for guidance and opportunities to be involved in an official G20 event back in August. And of course, Green School, Miss Kate and Bu Ika, for the wonderful collaboration, and our beloved organizations, Daya 5 and Daya Dimensi Indonesia. All of our knowledge partners from Arawat, Saudi Arabia, Evolutionary Futures Lab from the United States, Axia Origin from the UK, and of course our dear Caroline Glenfield Jones from the Leadership Tree, Australia. Number 5, our gotong royong partners, Bank Mandiri, Mine ID, the mining industry group from Indonesia, Taspen, Indica Energy Group, BRI, Kalbe Pharma, Forum Human Capital Indonesia, Patra Jasa, Alam Sutra Realty, Kereta Api Indonesia, Paragon Technology and Innovation, Jumbuh, which founder is here today, Garuda Indonesia, Kementerian, our Department of Education, Kala Group, and BP Jam Sostek. So we're now ready to pass on the baton to India. For 2023 V20, we believe in the hands of our friends from India, it will be an even better and more impactful program that provides positive influences to the next year's G20 Leaders Declaration. We are ready to provide support, share our experience, learning points, and wish you nothing but the best for 2023. It's a great honor to invite Madam Gauri Iswaran and Yasodhana Raj to receive the 2022 V20 communique as our symbol of transition from Indonesia to India.
Silakan di tengah, Ibu, silakan. And now, to officially close the V20 2022 Indonesia and handing over to India for the V20 2023. Bhumika, along with Bapak Yuri, along with the V20 2023 co-chairs, Madam Gauri and Ibu Yasodhana, you're in a position. This ceremony will be symbolized by the handing over of the symbolic of the manifesto from India to Indonesia. So on my count, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations for the successful V20 2022 Indonesia, and best of luck for V20 2023 in India. Congratulations, huge congratulations. See you next year in India. Yes. Woohoo! Congratulations once again. Okay, please, at the podium for the closing remarks.
Hello, everyone. First, I have to say, Yahoo! Everybody
Yahoo!
come to India. But I would like to first thank the founding circle and the Indonesian team, ably led by Yuri and Maike, for the wonderful summit that we have attended. Personally, I have actually learnt a lot and I have grown a lot because learning never stops. So life is a lifelong journey of learning. Mr. Shiv Khemka, myself, the entire team at TGELF are most excited about the opportunity to host V20 23 next year. One of the points that we would like to make is it's going to be a big push as Lead with Values is going to focus a lot on young people. Because you know, if you want the G20 leaders to listen to us, to look at values as being the center, we need the power of youth. It is the youth, if they are mobilized, that they will be able to push their leaders to be able to transform themselves, and like Richard said, to think of the greater good, to think of their good and to think of the greater good. Now in TGELF, we follow, our philosophy is based on 4 pillars: leadership, ethics, altruism, and decisive action, LEAD. And we run this program in thousands of schools, and we are convinced that only by energizing the youth, by nurturing them so that they imbibe values. It is these young people who, when they come out and demonstrate, that our leaders will be forced to listen. So, V2023 is going to look at 3 major issues. One is, of course, education, education for change, education for values. Second thing is we will also look at environment, because if we have to empower our youth to live a better life after our time, we have to save the planet. And the third thing is entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship, not in the traditional sense, entrepreneurship for good. That means young entrepreneurs think of solutions to the problems that we face in the world. They look for solutions which will be for greater good. And I have been a school teacher most of my life. I've spent my time with young people, and I know that they can bring about the change. Look at what's happening in Iran today. So I would request all of you to join with us to empower the young, that tomorrow they will power the change so that all our leaders will have to listen. Another thing that Mr. Khemka has made a promise, that we are going to try very hard to get V20 as an official engagement group with the G20. I think Indonesia has already done half the work, so we shall now continue and take it to completion. And at the end, I invite all of you, Mr. Khemka, myself, Yashodhana, the entire TGELF team, we invite you to come to India next year, join hands with us, and carry this battle for values forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Madam. Thank you so much. And congratulations once again. Looking forward to see you all in India. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow, we're really now entering the very end. And if I can just summarize my whole 2 days experience here, I will quote what Dr. Barrett has mentioned to us, that love is the future. So I want to try something different. When I say love, you say the future. So when I say love, when I say love, when I say love, thank you so much. My name is Kinan Pierce. This is the first time in my life hosting an event. I apologize. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been an honor for me to be here. with all of you, very kind, very compassionate, very soft people. It's been a very inspiring experience for me. So now, as the closing entertainment for V20 2022, a visit to the beautiful island of Bali will not be complete without watching some of the most captivating traditional performances the island has to offer. To celebrate the success of V20 2022, we will showcase the famous Kecak dance performance. Kecak dance performance are taken from the epic Ramayana saga dances, playing as Rama, Shinta, Laksamana, Rahwana, Hanuman, and Sugriwa. The storyline starts when Prince Rama wanders into the wood with his wife Shinta and brother Laksamana. There, a giant Ravana kidnaps Shinta and holds her in his place. Rama then seeks help and sends Laksamana to find his friend Sugriwa. The dramatic scene is portrayed when Hanuman is captured by Ravana's troops and put inside a circle of fire to burn him alive. Instead of burning to crisp, the white monkey warrior remains unharmed and breaks out only to burn Ravana's palace instead. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Kecak dance. Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time to dance with the Kecak dancers. Please come to the stage.
Positive energy
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Jose.
yeah, 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 yeah. Bulan, 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
Oke. Ya udah. Ini amplop jadinya 6 bulan ya, bukan setahun dari sekarang ya? Kata siapa tadi Kak Tina?
Itu si
Mas Yuri.
bukan cewek yang tadi ngelit.
Yang tadi ngelit. Oh, Ina. Yang pas Ina. Karolin. Ya, 6 bulan gak sih?
6 bulan.
Udah dinyalain. Jadi keluarnya
Woo! So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We have a closing anthem coming up. I would like to remind you on the previous Inner Journey session, you already made a postcard to your future self. We remind to please collect it to the committee now. Please, our team, to collect the postcard. As we will keep it and send it to you exactly 6 months from now. Let us take it as a symbolism of huge value energy bank in absorbing, crystallizing all the inspiration that we get from V20 2022 Summit. and plant it deep within ourselves as a promise in being the best version of ourselves in the future. So once again, I'm sending a huge appreciation to all honorable speakers, panelists, facilitator, and our beloved in-person and online participant who join us from all over the world. We are beyond honored and pleasure to host this global event, V20 Summit 2022 Values at the Center. And I wish you again best of luck for V20 2023 in India. So now I would like to invite all of you, come to the stage, come closer, as we will always need to believe in our inner value. Now let's sing together to the closing anthem of V20 2022, the greatest love of all. Please come to the stage, please, please, please. Come, come. So much, America. Congratulations, yeah. Congratulations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always.
I believe the children are the future.
Please.
Teach them well and let them lead the way.
I don't know the song.
Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero.
Satu lagi, Yuri and I would love to say thank you to our team who work behind the scenes. Thank you so much for the summit, for the communique. Thank you, team. Love you.
I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows.
All the details were noticed, the workshops, the music,
And this
the
I
art,
live
the
as I
film, the drama,
believe, no
everything you guys
matter
did
what
behind the
they
scenes.
take
Thank you,
from
thank
me,
you,
they
thank you.
can't take away my
dignity
because the
greatest
love of all is
love of all
happening to me. I found the greatest love all inside of me. Rega, Mevi, please come. Rega, Mevi. It's easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used. All the committee, please come, please come. Kata, everyone, come. If I fail, if I succeed, and place I live as I believe.
No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me.
I found the greatest
Love of all inside of me.
the greatest love of all is easy to
that you've been dreaming of.
Lead you to a lonely place.
Find your strength in love.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty.
All right, so since everybody is already at the front, let's take a picture together. If there's anybody would like to join, this is your moment. Please do.
Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone who fulfilled my needs. A lonely place to be. And so I learned to depend on. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I'm meant, if I succeed, I guess I live in love.
Pa Victor, Pa Victor.
No matter what they think of me, I can't
Pa Vic,
my
Victor.
because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest.
All right, everybody, all the hands in the air and show your love. Show some love. Sarangnya. Love, 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 okay? To the center.
Learning to love is
Everybody look to the center camera. 3, 2, 1. Love.
love.
And now peace, everybody. Everybody show the sign of peace. The sign of peace and the sign of V. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Smile. Now one video for videographer. Boleh di take videographer. Everybody say love, love, love. Okay? On my count.
Love.
On my count. Wait a minute. V20 2022 Summit. Thank you, everyone.
Love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all.
Teman-teman KP, teman-teman Kopi Panas, dan teman-teman volunteer LSPR Green School, thank you banget semuanya. Teman-teman KP, Kopi Panas is the best.
Is the greatest love of all.
And if by chance that special place that you've been dreaming of leads you to a lonely place, find your strength in love.
Terima kasih juga teman-teman Kopi Panas.
Kopi Panas, our event organizers.
Yang paling juga terima kasih semua yang hadir.
Tim volunteer, thank you.